Driving to East Chain, guys, what do you think?
Hey, looking forward to it.
Can't wait to see it.
Well, hi, it's Jeff again from Picture Time. We're out of the cabin, and today we're escaping quarantine in southern Minnesota with my good friend Doug. Say hi, Doug.
Hi, Doug. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Good. A couple of years ago, I met Doug on an airplane.
Yep.
And I always wanted to come down and see how farming worked. I've been down here before to see the harvesting process.
Right.
But we thought today we would escape quarantine. We're all about making memories as a family and stuff, and we want to try and learn something and get outside and do stuff as a family. And today we wanted to get out and learn how this planting process goes. Today we're planting beans. Take us through that process. What was happening today?
Well, last fall, the chopping corn had cut the stalks into small pieces, and then we plowed the field with a deep tillage tool, and we left it black with some residue on the top. In the spring, the process is that we store the dirt with a field cultivator, which is about 4 inches in depth, and we get nice speed going so that the ground actually gets turned over and just kind of mixes the topsoil along with the cut stalks and whatever.
You need like a really big tractor to pull that, right? Because that's a lot of drag. How wide is that?
Well, the field cultivator that we're using is 58 feet. And the tractor is 500 horsepower tractor. And it pulls at about 7 miles an hour or even faster.
So you get the digger or the cultivator turning the dirt over.
Yeah. It's actually more of a stirring process. It doesn't really turn anything over at this point.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Softens up the soil?
Right.
Okay. And then after that's gone through the field, then you're using a pretty sophisticated planter. Can you talk about that a little bit?
The next step is John Deere planter. Of course, we got to throw John Deere in there. We like that green stuff. But yeah, the process then is we actually operate on 20-inch rows. It's actually two different processes when you're planting corn and when you're planting beans. The corn process, we plant about 35,000 seeds per acre at around a 2-inch depth. And the soybeans, we plant like 140,000 seeds per acre, and they're just like an inch, or they always say that if you see a bean now and then on the top, you're doing it about right.
So 140,000 seeds per acre.
Right.
And that planting machine that you have there has a big basket on top with all the seeds.
Right.
Maybe in a little bit you could take us through and kind of show us that machine and how that works.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Yeah. So after the seeds are planted, then you're coming over them again a couple times, right? We have this big rig behind us here, the sprayer, right?
Yeah.
What are you spraying?
Well, with the corn, we put a 28% fertilizer on top, mixed with a weed suppressant chemical, and then we come back when the crop is like, 4 or 5 inches tall, and we spray it again. With the beans, we're just putting water and weed chemical so that the beans actually have a chance to break through before the weeds do. And then on the soybeans the last few years, we actually we kind of flatten the dirt down on top just to make a nice surface for our cutting edge for our combine to cut the beans.
So brings up another question, because I understand that you kind of rotate crops. Like, it looks like there was corn planted in this field last year, but today we're planting beans in it. Yeah. Talk to me about how you switch that out.
Well, in our operation for many years, we've had 2/3 of our acres in corn and 1/3 in beans. The economics kind of helped us change our mind this year. With the commodity prices being low, we planted 50% of our crop or acres into beans and 50% into corn this year. And we'll see how that works.
So then, how long after you plant today, like how long before you start to see seeds coming or plants coming out of the ground?
Beans will come quick. If we get warm temperatures and if they're planted in moisture, can actually be up in a few days. And the corn that we planted around 2 weeks ago is already spiking through.
Wow. Doug, you've been farming a while. Yep. I won't tell anybody your age.
That's all right.
He's got a young heart.
I just turned 65.
And now your son-in-law is getting into farming with you. We saw Tyler today.
He definitely helps us in the field on a regular basis, and he's learning the trade.
But things have changed a little bit. You didn't always have this high-tech GPS equipment. Talk to me a little bit about how you've seen it change in the last few years.
Well, when we started, none of our tractors had cabs, and we drove out in the wind and the elements, and that was kind of a nasty business. But we also didn't do near the amount of acres that we're doing now. The last 20 years have changed immensely But even the last 10 years with, you know, the coming along of all the technology and, you know, the monitor in the tractor, which I'm sure you'll show some videos of that.
So your GPS is driving you right now?
Yep. Yeah. And so the blue and the orange here are different varieties. Remember we loaded the seed cart? So that'll switch over to the combine, all this information. And so when the combine's combining in here, by GPS it'll pick up which variety, and it'll keep track of all the varieties and the bushels for me in the fall, so I'll be able to make a good seed choice for the next year.
And then basically for us to make our decisions for our next year, what we'll do for our seed isn't based on guessing anymore. Excuse me. It isn't based on guessing anymore.
Do you have COVID, Doug?
I don't know. I don't have COVID.
He doesn't have COVID. He's been in quarantine in southern Minnesota in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sorry, we're not 6 feet apart.
You probably better edit that out.
No, that's the best part.
But anyway, there's a lot more precision involved in the operation now than it used to be, based on facts and figures, which is good, but all that stuff costs money as well.
Now, we're down in southern Minnesota, and it's like Blue Earth County, right?
No, Martin County.
Martin County, but close to Blue Earth. I guess they get
Yeah.
the name because it's really rich,
Yeah.
beautiful soil down here. Isn't it
Yeah.
some of the most fertile soil?
It holds the water good. Your dad asked if we had irrigation, but we don't have irrigation down here, but the soil really holds the moisture well, and southern Minnesota is known for that.
Yeah. So, Doug, you're a man of faith, too.
Amen.
And a lot of this, you said you don't irrigate.
Right.
You kind of plant the seed and you hope there's a harvest at the end, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you have to really trust God every year with this business.
I think that a farmer, if he's not a man of faith, he probably is. He will be. Let's put it that way. There's just so many elements that are out of our hand. The Bible talks about, you know, planting the seed and sowing on the different types of soil types, and the return of 30, 60, even 100-fold, and the diligence of being faithful in your work ethic.
It's key, because if you were trusting all in your own ability, this is a tough business.
You actually can do everything right and still end up losing money at the end. There's so many variables. A better crop growing season, more bushels produce more revenue. Longer, shorter growing seasons, more rain, less rain, more frost, less frost, better prices. There's just all kinds of, you can do it all right, and you can actually do it all wrong and still be okay.
Well, hey, maybe you could take us through and show us that planting machine, and show us how that head works. It's pretty
Sure.
impressive.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
Good. So, Doug, this is quite an implement we got here.
Yeah, it's a 90 or a 60-foot DB bar with a John Deere, all the John Deere stuff on it. Rick, you can help me.
36 rows. They're 20 inches apart. So we're 36 row 20. This is a 60-foot bar. And it will deliver, it plants about 45 acres per hour when it's in the field running. It runs about a little over 6 miles an hour in beans, a little bit slower in corn. The grain comes out of there after it's been augered in, and it's delivered to these boxes, and then these boxes continually get fed as they're called to be fed.
So it's almost like a push and a pull system. It pushes the grain out, and then it sucks it into that plate system, and then it drops it.
This is the sucking fan. This is the hydraulic motor. This is all hooked to the tubes that are all hooked to individual rows. These you open up, and this creates a vacuum in here, and then it sucks the seeds to each one of these holes. And as this thing turns, the seeds go into a blank spot here where there's no vacuum, and they drop down through. It literally, the precision is incredible. It drops a bean seed every 2.1 inches. So every 2.1 inches, there's one seed, and they're not doubled up. And at 6 miles an hour, it's as fast as an M4 machine gun shooting bullets wide open.
And on the corn side, it delivers about an 8-inch gap between the corn plants.
Yep. And then each row is controlled by hydraulic or by air, for the downforce, so it actually reads from the tractor as you're going across the field if it needs more pressure or less pressure to keep that seed at a perfect depth.
These are the trash whippers as it goes through the field, and this kind of clears the debris away, like the stalks. You can see the stalks and the different things here. And then there's 2 sets of disc blades here that fit like this, and then the seed tube that delivers the seed actually drops it down between the disc blade like that. And then this kind of pats it together, and then these wheels kind of press it together, because where you get your stand for the seed growth is soil to seed contact. They have to be together.
So every seed is recorded, so it'll tell us it's sitting there counting. There's an eye in that seed tube that sends a signal up to the monitors. So that's kind of what we do. Simple, right? Very simple.
Well, Doug, thank you so much for letting us come down and see the operation today. Really appreciate you, and it's been fun getting to know you and actually be like, I grew up as a city kid, right? I never got to do this kind of stuff, and it's fun to come out here and explore. Well, you're welcome to come up to the city. I could show you some pavement, some sidewalks, and some streetlights. if you'd like to see that.
That would be the surface where the seed doesn't grow, right?
right. Hey, thanks for watching and joining us on the channel today. If you'd like to see more of this, actually, I think if it's all right, maybe we could come back in the fall and film you harvesting this crop that we just planted.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, okay,
that'd be great.
Great. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to see you back here as we escape quarantine with Picture Time. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.